Jack Reacher walks into every town like a storm, quiet, calm, but impossible to stop once the trouble starts. Jack Reacher. And now, fans are asking one burning question: when is the storm returning? Rumors are spreading like wildfire. Leaked production shots. A mysterious tweet from Ritchson himself. And whispers from inside Amazon Studios that something big is coming sooner than expected. But is it true? Has Reacher Season 4 finally been confirmed? Or are we just caught in a web of clever marketing and fan theories? Tonight we dig deep, through every update, leak, and clue, to uncover the truth behind Reacher's next return. Because if these leaks are right, Season 4 could change everything we know about Reacher. Asterisk, it all started when Ritchson, the man behind Reacher's steel-cold stare, dropped a single hint on social media, a cryptic image of a duffel bag and dog tags with the caption, "Almost time." That single post sent fans into a frenzy. Within hours, forums and Reddit threads were flooded with theories that Reacher Season 4 was already in production, or maybe even wrapped up. Now, let's rewind a bit. Season 3 took audiences by storm with its ruthless tone and gripping story. And filming for that season wrapped just 8 months before release. So if the same timeline follows, the math points towards something interesting. A late 2025 or early 2026 premiere seems highly possible. But here's where things get really interesting. According to several inside reports, production for the next season began quietly in mid-2024. Right after Amazon saw the massive streaming numbers for Season 3, the executives didn't want to lose momentum, and neither did Ritchson. In fact, crew members have hinted that many fight sequences were shot in advance, suggesting that the creative team has been preparing for Season 4 even before Season 3 dropped, behind the scenes. This show has become one of Amazon Prime Video's most valuable assets. After the wild success of The Boys and Fallout, Reacher has proven it can stand tall among the platform's biggest titles. It's not just about action anymore, it's about character loyalty and the raw appeal of a lone soldier fighting his own battles. Industry insiders believe that Amazon wants to lock in a consistent, yearly release rhythm, keeping Reacher in the spotlight and fans engaged. That means if production really wrapped up early, Season 4 could drop as soon as December 2025. Perfectly timed for the holiday rush when binge watchers are glued to their screens. Still, no official trailer or teaser has been released, at least not yet. But the silence isn't accidental. Reacher's marketing always builds on mystery. Think about it. Every teaser so far has dropped out of nowhere, often just weeks before release. The producers know that suspense is part of the brand and it's working. Every single piece of information, from location leaks showing new military settings to anonymous production, crew hints about darker emotional themes, adds more fuel to the hype. Some fans believe the next season is adapting Lee Child's novel The Enemy, which serves as a prequel exploring Reacher's early military life. If that's true, it could explain the recent casting calls for younger military officers and new recruits. It also lines up with the leaked on-set photos showing a cold, industrial-looking base, a stark contrast to the small-town chaos of the previous seasons. Even more, if Amazon decides to surprise fans with a split release, dropping half the season first, it could signal a major shift in how the Reacher universe is built. That means Season 4 might not just continue the story but completely reframe who Reacher is, giving us a closer look at the man before the myth. So, is Reacher Season 4 really confirmed? Well, while Amazon hasn't made a flashy announcement yet, everything from production patterns to insider reports points to one truth: the show is already in motion. Every clue, every rumor, and every leak seems to align perfectly, leading to one likely outcome: Reacher Season 4 is happening. And it might be closer than we think. The question now isn't if Reacher is coming back. It's how soon will the chaos begin again. Asterisk, the cast of Reacher has always been the heart of its success, not just because of the punches thrown, but because every face tells a story. And for Season 4, the faces returning and the ones joining are stirring up serious excitement. Let's start with the man who made Reacher impossible to forget, Alan Ritchson. His quiet, brutal intensity turned Jack Reacher from a book hero into a modern action icon. And yes, he's confirmed to return. But this time, insiders say we'll see a side of Reacher we've never seen before. Colder, more conflicted, and haunted by the ghosts of his past. Reports suggest that Ritchson has spent weeks training for new hand-to-hand combat sequences, more grounded, less flashy, and emotionally charged. This isn't the Reacher who just knocks down bad guys. This is a soldier fighting an invisible enemy, his own past, alongside him. Maria Sten will reportedly return as Frances Neagley, Reacher's trusted ally and moral compass. Her chemistry with Reacher has always been sharp, calm logic meeting brute force, and fans can expect their bond to be tested more than ever before. Leaks from the writer's room hint at Neagley being drawn into a darker mission, one that forces her to question Reacher's methods and maybe even his sanity, but the biggest buzz surrounds the new additions. A mysterious new female character rumored to be a high-ranking CIA officer could shake the entire foundation of Reacher's world. Some say she's an ally. Others believe she's a spy sent to bring him down. One leaked casting document described her as a mirror of Reacher, brilliant, trained, and equally dangerous. That's a recipe for tension that could explode on screen. Another leak points to a new villain. Someone more calculating than any thug or mercenary we've seen before? The whispers online point toward a former military commander who knows Reacher personally, a man who once fought beside him and now wants him dead. This could make for one of the most emotional storylines yet, as Reacher faces not just corruption or crime, but betrayal from within the brotherhood he once trusted. If this leak proves true, Season 4 could be the most personal Reacher story yet. Gone are the random towns and self-contained mysteries. This time, the story might go back to where it all began. The U.S. Army, Reacher's past, his unfinished business. The tone, too, is said to be changing. Insiders describe the new season as darker, moodier, and more psychological. We might see fewer action scenes and more emotional depth, flashbacks, inner conflict, and moments where Reacher's silence says more than his fists ever could. And then there's the talk of location. Multiple fan accounts have shared supposed behind-the-scenes images from filming locations in Germany and Eastern Europe. That's a major shift from the American small-town setting we're used to. It suggests a more global plot, maybe Reacher taking on a mission connected to international defense, or a secret military operation gone wrong. The use of European locations might also mean Season 4 is blending espionage with action, something closer to a spy thriller than a straightforward detective story. If true, that would open the door for new alliances, covert missions, and enemies far beyond Reacher's usual reach. Alan Ritchson himself gave a small but telling hint during an interview. Reacher doesn't run from his past forever. Eventually, it catches up. That single sentence has sparked endless speculation online. Fans are convinced that Season 4 will finally explore why Reacher left the military, and what truly broke his trust in the system. Even the rumored title of Season 4, Reacher, Shadows of Honor, adds fuel to the fire. While unconfirmed, the phrase fits perfectly with the supposed storyline, a man torn between justice and the ghosts of his past. And if you think that's all, think again. According to several anonymous leaks from production assistants, one of the early episodes might open with a flashback showing a young Reacher in uniform, facing a decision that will change his life forever. That moment, they say, could connect directly to the main conflict of Season 4. It's not just another season, it's a reckoning. Everything we know suggests that Reacher Season 4 will pull the curtain back on the man behind the muscles, the soldier who became a drifter, the protector who doesn't want to be saved. This season won't just test his strength. It'll test his soul, because when the past returns, it doesn't knock. It breaks down the door. Asterisk, they say every hero's journey ends with a test that cuts deeper than any wound. For Jack Reacher, that test might finally arrive in Season 4. Over the past few months, several leaks and behind-the-scenes whispers have started to paint a chilling picture of what's coming, a finale that could completely rewrite how we see Reacher as a character. The first major leak appeared on a fan forum known for accurate Amazon Prime predictions. A supposed crew member claimed that the final 2 episodes of Reacher, Season 4, will break the myth of the invincible drifter. Those words alone sent shockwaves through the fandom. What does that mean? Could Reacher finally lose a battle, not with his fists, but with his conscience? According to that same leak, the season will build toward a devastating emotional twist, something tied directly to Reacher's military past. One theory suggests that a figure from his old command, someone he once trusted like a brother, will resurface not as an ally but as an enemy. The kind of betrayal that leaves scars you can't see. Fans believe this mystery character will be introduced slowly, maybe as a mentor figure or a man with a shared goal. Before the truth hits like a hammer, he's the one behind it all. The man responsible for the mission that destroyed Reacher's faith in the system. The man who made him walk away from everything. If this rumor is true, Season 4 won't just be about survival. It'll be about justice, revenge, and the thin line that separates them. But there's more. Second leak from what looks like a casting document mentioned a code name, Operation Sentinel. In the Reacher books, that name appears briefly in passing, connected to a classified case Reacher once investigated. Could this be the storyline's backbone? A secret mission gone wrong? A cover-up that Reacher swore never to reveal? It fits perfectly with the darker tone teased by Ritchson himself, who said in an interview, "This season, Reacher has to decide whether doing the right thing means becoming the villain." And if that wasn't enough, leaked call sheets, shared briefly on social media before being taken down, revealed something even more shocking. A scene description labeled Reacher's Final Stand. The page reportedly described a nighttime sequence in a snow-covered base. Reacher surrounded, outnumbered, but not outmatched. It ends with the line, "He doesn't look back." Fans have gone wild with theories about what that means. Does Reacher die? Does he vanish again, leaving his allies behind? Or does he finally destroy the system that created him? Some believe the finale might not kill Reacher physically, but break him spiritually. That the man we meet at the end of Season 4 won't be the same Reacher we've known? One theory suggests the finale could end with Reacher walking away, not into another town, but into his past, possibly setting up a Reacher prequel spin-off exploring his early army days. Others think the ending will connect all the previous seasons together, revealing that every mission Reacher took, every person he helped, was part of a much bigger pattern. That the enemies he fought weren't random, they were pieces of the same puzzle. Even the supposed final episode title, leaked from a post-production slate, has fans speculating endlessly. It's rumored to be called Honor Among Ghosts. Short, haunting, and perfectly in line with the emotional weight this season seems to carry. What's fascinating is that Amazon has gone completely silent about all of this. No confirmation, no denial, just silence. And that silence is feeding the mystery even more. In one Reddit, Emma, a user claiming to be part of the editing team, wrote, "If you think you've seen Reacher angry before, wait until you see what breaks him this time." That comment alone gained thousands of upvotes before it was deleted, but screenshots spread everywhere. So, what could break Jack Reacher? It's not the villains, not the fights, not the odds. It's the truth. Imagine this, Reacher discovering that the system he once fought to protect has been using his name, his missions, his legacy to cover up something monstrous. That every time he thought he was helping people, he was just erasing the evidence. That would destroy anyone. Even him. And maybe that's what Season 4 is leading to, a final confrontation not between Reacher and a man, but between Reacher and the world he thought he understood. If these leaks are true, then Reacher Season 4 won't just end with an explosion or a standoff. It'll end with silence. The silence of a man realizing that being a hero sometimes means walking away from the truth. You can't live with. As one fan put it perfectly online, Reacher doesn't die. He disappears. But this time for good reason. The internet is divided. Some want the story to end there, with Reacher fading into the shadows. Others want a redemption arc, a 5th season where he rises again. But one thing everyone agrees on, whatever happens in the finale, it will redefine who Jack Reacher truly is, because even heroes have breaking points. And maybe this time, Reacher finally reaches his asterisk if the rumors are true. Then Reacher Season 4 won't end like any season before it. It won't fade out with victory. It'll end with loss, quiet, heavy, and unforgettable. And that's what makes the fan reaction so explosive. Every corner of the internet, from Reddit to Twitter to YouTube comment sections, is alive with theories, debates, and even heartbreak. Some fans are calling it the most daring twist Amazon could ever take. Others say it's too emotional, too final, that they're not ready to let Reacher go, but maybe that's the point. Jack Reacher was never meant to be a typical hero. He doesn't wear a mask, doesn't live in a mansion, and doesn't save the world for fame. He's a ghost, a man who lives by his own code, protects strangers, and disappears before they can thank him. Every season we watch him drift away, and yet somehow we always want him back. And that emotional loop, that feeling of emptiness, when he walks away, might be exactly what the creators are building toward leaked test screening. Notes, which surfaced briefly before being deleted, describe audience members leaving stunned and silent. One viewer allegedly wrote, "It felt like saying goodbye to someone real." That's powerful storytelling. That's what makes Reacher different from every other action show on streaming right now. There's also a growing theory that Season 4 could serve as a transition, not an ending, but a transformation. Some fans believe Amazon might be planning a Reacher cinematic universe, with spin-offs focusing on characters like Neagley, or exploring Reacher's years in the Army, a wider story about honor, loyalty, and what happens to those left behind when the mission ends. And if you think that's a stretch, consider this: Alan Ritchson recently signed a multi-year deal with Amazon Studios. That alone suggests Reacher's story isn't over? Not yet, but maybe Season 4 will close one chapter and open another. In many ways, this season feels like a storm brewing. You can sense it in every rumor, every leak, every cryptic quote. Even the silence from Amazon feels intentional, like they're letting the tension build, one heartbeat at a time. If the leaked title, Honor Among Ghosts, is real, then the message is clear. This season isn't just about violence. It's about memory, regret, the ghosts that follow us. When we think we've walked away from everything. Imagine the final scene, Reacher standing alone, bloodied and bruised, staring into the distance as the wind howls. Maybe he's looking at a grave. Maybe it's symbolic. Maybe it's his past. No words, no music, just silence. And then fade to black. That's the kind of ending people remember for years. That's the kind of ending that makes a legend, and yet the fandom refuses to believe that's where it ends. Threads are popping up daily. Reacher can't die. He always survives. There's no Reacher without redemption. One post that went viral simply read, "Reacher doesn't die in the story. The story dies in him." Whether poetic or prophetic, that single line sums up what Reacher truly stands for. It's not about how many fights he wins, it's about how much of himself he loses along the way. So, what happens next? We wait. Amazon knows exactly what it's doing. They'll drop the first teaser out of nowhere, probably at midnight, with no warning, just like they did with previous seasons. Fans will wake up to that iconic theme, that heavy slow-motion walk, and those two words on screen, "He's back." And when that happens, social media will explode again. Reaction videos, breakdowns, conspiracy threads, all asking the same question we started with. Is Reacher really coming back? Until that moment, every fan theory, every rumor, every leaked frame is part of the build-up. It's all part of the game, a test of patience and obsession that keeps the Reacher army alive and hungry. But here's the truth. Even if the finale breaks us, even if Season 4 changes everything we thought we knew, Reacher's legacy is untouchable because he's more than a character. He's an idea, the idea that one man armed with nothing but courage, instinct, and a stubborn sense of right can still make a difference in a broken world. And maybe that's why fans love him so deeply. Because no matter how dark things get, Reacher reminds us that justice doesn't always wear a badge. Sometimes it wears boots, walks alone, and disappears when the job is done. So when the dust settles and the credits roll, remember this, whether season 4 ends in fire or silence. One truth remains. Jack Reacher never stops. He may vanish from the screen, but he'll never leave our minds, because somewhere out there, in the next town, the next fight, the next story, Reacher is still walking, and when he returns, the world better be ready.